a science experiment, a high altitude balloon filled with helium was launched from Alabama. Unfortunately, the balloon landed way off course, so they offered a reward for its retrieval. Bob and Nancy went out hunting for it on a cloudy Sunday morning. They took their HTs, RDF antennas, extra supplies, and followed the radio signal deep into North Georgia. After several times of stopping and taking bearings, they found a very strong signal near a farm. Bob got out of the car and started following the signal. Suddenly, Bob found himself being chased across the field by a tiny, scary cow. He ran towards a patch of woods and got away from it. To his surprise, the balloon signal was much stronger, so he continued following the RF toward the balloon. Following the signal, Bob went up a hill and came to a clearing. He was surprised to see a very large metal still. As Bob thought, I bet the still was reflecting the signal, a person stepped from the shadows. The person turned out to be a very purple farmer holding a shotgun. He spit on the ground, looked up, and yelled at Bob, "Damn the torpedoes!" Bob ran for his life, down the hill, across the field, past the cow, jumped over a rat, and landed square on his head in a trough full of slop. As he quickly got up from the trough, he noticed the payload he was hunting hanging low from a tree near where Nancy was parked. Covered in mud and running back towards the car, Bob yelled, "Start the car, quick!" Then he ran past the car, grabbed a big 4-leaf clover off the ground, threw it at the payload, and knocked it down. Before you could say, "Back to net control," he had picked up the payload and jumped in the car. You might guess this was not their first time hunting in unknown territory. Nancy instinctively floored the car and hightailed it out of there. A minute later, Nancy turned to Bob and said, "Did you get chased by a cow again?" "Yeah," he replied, "but now all I can think about is how are we going to spend our $50?